I've looked at what you've said about sovereignty. You think that national sovereignty involves control of its military, control of your borders, and control of your currency. And I know that Orban and I know that Salvini say they do not want to leave the euro, but you personally, I'm presuming your own opinion is that those countries should leave the euro.
I think it's over time. I think this first step is to really have more of an impact of these nations, of the sovereignty movement at the EU level. What countries decide and choose later on is what they decide.
It sounds a bit like you're unusually for you
no,
chickening out.
I'm not. I absolutely believe. I think that's why Switzerland. I think Norway, the United Kingdom. I'm a huge believer that you should have control of your national currency. I think it's a fundamental part of economic nationalism. However, you know, it's quite complicated, particularly when these leaders are coming in now. When the currency, you've been a joint currency for what, a couple of decades. You just can't wave a magic wand and say, oh, we want out. It's incredibly difficult. It's much more difficult than the exit if you just had a political exit from the EU. Also, one thing to note, I haven't met one leader in these conversations we've had. I haven't heard one leader of any party, as we've been talking, even the second and third level. I haven't heard anyone say they want to leave the EU. What they look at is a reformed EU that is more based upon a collection of individual sovereign nation states than this United States of Europe program that Macron and others have been proposing. I also happen to think that is essentially dead in the water. The populist movement, you know, because everybody was cheering when Macron won last year. The populist nationalist movement is at the very top of the first inning. This is going to be a much bigger global movement, a much bigger movement in Europe. So we're at the very beginning of it. But no, I do believe that you need your control of your currency, and I actually am a big believer in cryptocurrencies for countries.